I'm really upset about this Kelly Stafford thing.
Oh, my God, you took the words out of my mouth. That's beautiful.
Trying to paint it like we're some douchebag fans that booed her kids. Are you kidding me? What did you think? Oh, I walked through a room full of wild dogs and I got bit. Well, what did you think was going to happen? You know how rabid NFL fans are. It wouldn't have mattered what city you were in, what team you were playing. I think it was payback because we didn't give her a suite. Now, she didn't get a suite, so she's going to parade her children around on the field just to get some boos, because you know that's going to come. If you don't know that you're going to get booed walking into Ford Field after 12 years of being here, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. Nobody deserves to have their kids booed. And I don't believe for 1 minute there was one person in those stands that said, oh, let's boo the kids. Yeah, screw them kids. Come on.
Yeah, what an egomaniac right there. Shame on you for one. It's like, why did you put your kids into that position?
Oh, shit, we're live. I didn't even know we were live. Yeah, come on. You're not going to give me a suite? No, I'll show you. She knows all about public relations. She knows all about bad PR, bad press. You subjected your children to that because you couldn't get a suite. Maybe leave them in the hotel room. Maybe leave them with Nana.
This rant was brought to you by the Kelly Stafford podcast. Oh, my God. That was such a Kelly Stafford podcast promotion right there. Listen. The fans of Detroit have been waiting 30 years, and it takes an awful lot of ego to go out there and make it about you. Those fans paid on the average of $1,000 per ticket.
That's right.
To see something that hasn't happened in over 30 years. Hey, Kelly Stafford, it ain't about you. It ain't about your kids. We weren't booing your kids. We were booing the team that is standing in the way of the first playoff victory in 30 years. Get over yourself. This rant was brought to you by the Kelly Stafford podcast.
I really am at a loss of why she couldn't get a suite. I realize that the suites are a premium, right? Especially for a playoff game in Detroit. But someone in the organization, somehow the Rams had to have a suite somehow. The fact that she couldn't get one. So where did she sit then?
Couldn't get one or didn't have one given to her? Like that might be something right there. Was it not given to her? Is that why she was mad? Or did they really refuse her entry? I don't buy that for a second. I don't buy that somebody refused her entry into a suite, that he had to go down on the field in front of all those Lions fans. I don't think she had to do that. I bet you Sheila Ford would let her go into her suite if she really, really wanted that.
Exactly.
She didn't really want that. She wanted to parade her kids out in front of everybody so she could play victim. Play victim for the first playoff win in 30 years. And you want to take the happiness away? You want to take the happiness away from Lions fans because you felt slighted with your children? It's war, baby. It's war. There's 8 teams left in the playoffs. That's what we're going to talk about. This is why I didn't want this game in the first place, Matt. With Matt Stafford, Mike. That's why I didn't want the game. Not because I didn't think that we would win. Because I didn't want this. It ain't about you. It's about the two teams on the field. Good morning, everybody. That was a rant in the back right there. Good morning, Dwayne. Good morning, Henry. Henry and Brent. Our Patreon, Fred Peterson's in the house. Yeah, bear down, Mike. Good morning. Oh, I gotta go. Speaking of which, wow. Brent, Jay Smooth in the house. Woo! It's Feel Good Thursday. Oh, yeah, it's Feel Good Thursday, and I put Wednesday up in the corner. Good job. Welcome one, welcome all, ladies and gentlemen. It is, football talk with Russell Wayne, and it is a Thursday. It's Feel Good Thursday, and I'll change that here in a second. And we're broadcasting live into the Detroit Lions news. We're broadcasting live into Mike the Bear Fan. Welcome to everybody that just joined us from Mike the Bear Fan's page. And then our villains, 25,000 villains. Yes, this is an all-together thing. This isn't my page. This is not Main Event's Mike page. This is our page that we are going through this journey together. And now there are 25,000 of us going through this together on this Lions page right here, including this man, my compadre, Main Event Mike. Welcome to the program.
It's Feel Good Thursday, and I feel good, even though your header says Wednesday up there.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'll try to fix it right there. Well,
okay.
It's not. Yeah, that one's not as good. Hold on a minute. Let me get in there. Yeah, tell me how you're feeling, Mike.
Well, I apologize to anybody that had to hear my Kelly Stafford rant this morning. I didn't realize we were live while I was calling her names and calling her kids all kinds of horrible things.
Or did he? Yeah, you never know about these things, but we can open up with that because that's what we were talking
Should we, though? It's Good Vibes Thursday. Should we even bring Kelly into it? Let's not. I mean, it's so ridiculous, right? Okay, let's talk.
How can you? Yeah, but how can you rant about it for 2 minutes in the pre-show and then all of a sudden be like, nah, we don't want to talk about that? You obviously wanted to talk about it, or else you wouldn't have already talked about it. But we got other stuff that we need to get to when it comes to this, because on Feel Good Thursday, there's 4 playoff games. Playoffs. And we have a responsibility to talk about these games. But before we do, I want to put a shout out right here to the winner of the most prestigious award that you can get in all of sports and entertainment. And that is the Villain Squad Lion of the Week winner, voted on by you, the villain. You, the fan, have chosen Michael Badgley, the Honey Badger.
The Money Badger.
The Money Badger. Money from 54 yards. The game sealer. It turned out to be the game-winning field goal right there at 54 yards. Dan the Gamble Campbell going off script and putting the Money Badger out there. And he is the winner of the most prestigious award in all of sports and entertainment. And that is the Villain Squad Lion of the Week. Congratulations, my friend.
And Michael Badgley also voted the sexiest man in the NFL.
Yeah, you just made that up. There's no way
that's absolutely true.
Okay. I'm glad that you didn't make that up, because that would be. I guess that would be weirder than the first scenario.
Yeah, I decided that he was the sexiest
voted
guy
on by me.
No, for sure. Yeah. Michael Badgley, Lion of the Week. Kudos to you, Michael Badgley. We'll be sending out that trophy to you. It's a statue wearing a ski mask.
Oh my gosh. Good morning to all that are out there. If you just joined us, this is Football Talk with Russell Wayne, my compadre, main event Mike in the house. Thank you everybody that's viewing right now. Please hit that like button on whatever video that you're watching right now. I mean, if you are watching and you're not just watching in passing, this is not a cooking show or anything like that. So if you just stumbled on us, this is Football Talk. And the only people that would be watching are the 42 people that are on there that love football. And we are in the playoff and we are in the thick of it, Michael. We are in the thick of this playoff. There are 4 games that are going to be happening. And I wanted to start with this one because this one's really, really intriguing to me. And I know we're going to get to the Lions one, but we're going to save the best for last on that. But we got to get and talk about some of these other playoff games, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and Jeffrey Addison.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see how the young, talented Texans match up to the unstoppable Ravens. Well, Lamar at home is pretty tough. That defense, number 1 in the league against a rookie quarterback. It's going to be really, really hard for the Texans to go in there and win. But hey, I'm done doubting CJ Stroud. I'm done. Okay. Every time I bet against him this year, I lost. You just think, first round playoff game, they're going to lose. I picked Cleveland to win because he's a rookie, but this guy is mature beyond his years. The team believes in him and rallies around him. And Lamar's track record in the playoffs, not great. Don't think for a minute that the Texans can't go in there, control the ball, hit some deep shots, sneak up and win this game. They are an underdog by 9.5 points, however.
So we're going to figure out.
But they are who we thought they were.
If they are who we thought they were. I love this matchup. There's a couple of matchups that are so intriguing to me because there's some young teams that are in this playoffs this time. And
playoffs.
And you got that means that you got a bunch of these guys, especially on the Texans, because of that Deshaun Watson trade. They were able to acquire a lot of young talent that not a lot of us know about yet, but maybe budding right before our very eyes, where you're talking about this Houston Texans. I mean, it's great that CJ Stroud is working, but they've picked in the first round twice for the last couple years because of the Deshaun Watson trade, and they've been loading up on defensive talent and talent on the offensive side of the ball. So a bunch of these guys that are just about ready to make names for themselves, can they do it against the best team in the NFL? Because that's what the Lamar Jackson Baltimore Ravens are. They're the best team in the NFL until they're not. And it's a great matchup of young versus veteran. You know, this is a veteran Baltimore Ravens team. You know, they're favored by 9.5 for a reason. Because they're like on the paper and experience, they should win the game. In the seeding, they should win the game. They're at home. They should win the game. They've rested for a week. They should win the game. But I'm with you, Mike. I don't know if I want to put anything past the CJ Stroud kid and Will Anderson.
But don't forget about former MVP Lamar Jackson and probably this year's MVP Lamar Jackson. Also, one of the best running teams in the league. They just waived Melvin Gordon and signed Dalvin Cook. My goodness. So the rich get richer. You now get Dalvin Cook. They can control the ball on the ground and keep CJ Stroud off the field. It's going to be a very long day for that Texans defense if they allow that to happen.
Ski mask is better than a paper bag. Here, I just wanted to put that in there. Oh my gosh. I think these are comments from your I think it was from your sexiest man alive thing.
Yeah, that's what people responded. Do you need a minute, Mike? I got
right. But thank you for getting us back on track here, because I was looking for something in relation to the topic that we're talking to. And thank you for the people that stay along and join the conversation that we're actually having, and don't get sidetracked like Russell Wayne right here was like, "Oh, look, a squirrel." All right, thank you, Sarah.
I don't really trust Baltimore. They've given up big leads in the fourth quarter before. That's true. They're not infallible. Would they lose 5 games this year?
Right.
4 games, right? So they're beatable any given Sunday in this league. This isn't the 72 Dolphins. Don't think for a minute the Ravens can't lose this game or any of these teams. Don't think that Green Bay can't go in and beat the Niners. Absolutely could happen. Will it happen? I don't think so. I think the Cinderella story ends here for the Texans in Baltimore, and Baltimore will go on to face the winner of Buffalo and Kansas City. What an AFC conference title game that's going to be.
All right. I mean, I know that this was really, really intriguing to us, but then I'm going back through all the comments and not one other comment on that game right there. So moving on to what I would think, you want one that's just kind of for the poster board, the one that everybody's going to be looking at to be like, the veteran versus the veteran. What is this, number 4? Is this playoff battle number 4?
Playoff battle number 4, but they also met in the regular season a couple of times as well.
Sure, but I don't count those. This is like playoff battle number 4, and Patty Mahomes right here is what? He's 3-0, isn't he?
Yeah, in playoffs, but he's always been able to play Josh Allen in his own building. This time they got to go to Orchard Park and play in the elements in Buffalo. Josh Allen licking his lips to get a chance to beat these Chiefs at home. The Buffalo Bills, they were left for dead at 6-6, and they just went on a tear, beating some really good teams, and just crushing Pittsburgh last week in the wild card round. So I think Buffalo is out for blood. They're out for revenge. The Chiefs have had a real down year. If the Chiefs can pull off this win, and by the way, Buffalo favored by 2.5 points in this game, so it would be an upset. If Patrick Mahomes can pull off the upset in Buffalo, look out. That might be the momentum they need to propel themselves to a Super Bowl.
That's a great call. That's a great call right there. This is highway to the danger zone right here. When you're talking about the Buffalo Bills right here, here's the thing. You should win this game, Buffalo Bill fan. Steve Salter, if you're out there and you're listening, I know that you're the biggest Buffalo Bill fan that I know. You are in the danger zone right now. You cannot, this is teed up for you. They put it right up on that tee right there, and you got your Chrome, max impact driver. And you should just smash that ball right down the middle of the fairway. It is teed up for you beautifully. You got it in your own home place. But if you lose this game, then psychologically, I have no idea how Josh Allen could ever even think to win a Super Bowl again if Patrick Mahomes can go into Buffalo and win under these conditions.
Mm-hmm. This is must-see TV, folks, right? Buffalo and Kansas City. This is it. It doesn't get any better than this. We've already seen every time these guys square off, it's a battle. It's going to be a great game. I'm rooting for Buffalo. Our good friend Sarah says Mahomes is too clutch. And that's a great call out, Sarah, right? You're talking about Patrick Mahomes. Okay, it's big game. Big players get up for the big games. That's what we always say. And he's a clutch player. And boy, this is going to be.
But you can't tee it up any better, Sarah.
No.
You have to feel me on that right there. You can't tee it up any better. The next thing you got to do, what are you going to do? Have to, tie one arm behind Mahomes' back. Maybe he can win if he ties one arm behind his back. This is it. You can't tee it up any better than this.
Right, but Sarah just calls it out right here. If Josh Allen doesn't play hero ball, they have a chance. If he stays within the offense, take the runs when they come. That Kansas City defense is top 3 in the league, okay, in so many categories. So if he doesn't play hero ball, they have a chance. Well, they're favored, Sarah, so I think they have more than a chance, right? And then there's a lot of comments in here that
with this one right there about the too much Swift to concentrate. I love that. I love that because that's the other part of it too. It's teed up like that. They have all these other distractions going on in Kansas City. Like the Buffalo's hot right now. They actually have a running game with James Cook. They might be able to, in the elements there, if this is a nice cold game, those Kansas City Chiefs, they're used to playing in the cold too. I guess it really doesn't matter. They played in cold games before, but it's teed up well. it's teed up well for these Buffalo Bills. I think it's their game to lose. I think they should go in there and pound the Kansas City Chiefs. This is not the same Chiefs. This is not the same Chiefs.
Mm-hmm. Michael Wood says, I got the Bills finally getting the W. Yeah, this could be the year, Michael, that they break through. Neil says Taylor Swift will sing an inspirational song for the Chiefs, and they'll win by 14. Wow, on the road. Going to win by 14. That's a tough call for me, Neil.
Well, I'm so glad that the Lions won that game and Eminem didn't look the way that he could have looked right there. That was a very soft take that he came out with, saying that I rap for you and that's why you should give it to us. Detroit, we ain't giving nothing. we ain't been given nothing, and they had to take it. They had to go take that shit. But I'm sure that he'll write a fat ass rap about the especially if the Lions win the Super Bowl. So I can't wait for that one to drop.
Rashee Rice has emerged as Patrick Holmes' go-to guy, the rookie, balling out. Absolutely. I mean, he needs some help other than Kelsey. They got to have someone else, and Rashee Rice has distinguished himself as that guy. We know what Kadarius Toney's all about. Lee here says only thing Toney be catching is a cold.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, kneecap biting. Yeah, Jeremy B in there. He agrees with me on that. Great show this morning. I really like having kneecap biting, the Motor City kneecap biting with Jeremy B in the morning at 11 or at 10 a.m. God, I got the program in there. 10 a.m. We get the football talk started on the Villain Squad Network right here at 10 a.m. now with kneecap biting with Jeremy B. And then obviously this show is at 11 a.m. with Mike and I. And who knows what could be coming in the future, because we love talking football and we love having the 45 people that are on there right now. 15 people. Come on. If you're watching this right now, it's real easy and it's free and it helps so much. Hit the like button. Can you please do that right now while we're all talking right here? While you can hear the words that are coming out of my mouth. Where the Macho Man Randy Savage would climb to the top rope and see his defeated opponent down there, the subscribe button, and he would drop the Macho Man elbow right in the heart. Boom. And then he'd beat you 1, 2, 3. Yeah, dig it, brother. Yeah. Snap into a Slim Jim. Yeah, dig it. Ooh.
A-Dub says inconsistent hands on the Chiefs wide receiver core will be a reason they may lose to the Bills. And if Josh Allen isn't the majority offense, they have a chance. What do you think of that? James Cook, Dalvin's brother, running really hard the last 3 weeks. They finally found a running game in Buffalo. Packers transfer Rasul Douglas playing good at corner too. They are beat up though. Buffalo is beat up, and that could work to Kansas City's advantage. They have a lot of players that are banged up but still playing hurt, and that was evident in the Pittsburgh game.
I didn't know. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to control Jeremy's show on there, but you know, he went. Did he go politics? You didn't go politics, did you?
It's his show. He can talk about whatever the hell he wants.
Okay. Hey, here's the thing, and I'll defend Jeremy 100% on this. Like, you can't help what people are going to put into your comments, and sometimes you got to address stuff like that. And Jeremy shot it down. Okay, so sometimes you can't help what other people say. That's what happens when you're driving the fan-driven show, and that's why we ask you guys stay on topic with us, right? You know. And good job right now, because everybody's talking about the Kansas City versus the Bills right now for the most part. Mm-hmm. And we appreciate that. You like that? Because we're talking about the playoffs. Yeah, and I did see a great transition point, Mike, because we can move from the Bills, because I heard somebody say something about Rasul Douglas, who was traded from the Green Bay Packers, who are playing in a divisional matchup against one seed San Francisco 49ers right there. Kind of a surprise to some people.
It's my quarterback.
To see the Green Bay Packers make it that far, but it's because
it's my quarterback.
Well, no, not my quarterback, but the Green Bay Packers quarterback, Jordan Love, playing at a high level. going into Candlestick Park. Yeah, I know it's not Candlestick anymore, but going into San Francisco, hostile environment, young team against that grizzled veteran, stout, badass defense with Nick Bosa and Chase Young, and man, that's a tall order.
George,
would you say the line was on that?
It's 9.5 also.
Yeah.
9.5. Jordan Love, the highest rated passer since week 14. He's on a tear. He's playing against Brock Purdy, the highest rated passer for the season in the NFL. I mean, you can say what you want about Brock Purdy. Oh, he's got Debo and Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle. He's got all. What a great defense. Oh, he's Kyle Shanahan's a genius. I don't care. You got to go out there and perform. And everybody's selling this kid short. He doesn't make mistakes. He's not afraid to throw the ball downfield. He's a competitor. He's got a lot of moxie. And I hope he loses to the Packers just so the Lions might get a home playoff game for the title game.
I love that call. And that's a very distinct possibility. But you glazed over some of those guys. And I know that the MVP talks, it's because Brock Purdy had MVP quality type of players that are surrounding him. And now, unfortunately for the Packers, those MVP type of players still play on the team. And whether you want to call Brock Purdy a distributor or not, the fact of the matter is, if he gets the ball into the hands of guys like Christian McCaffrey and Debo Samuel, then that's going to create problems for the Green Bay Packers defensively. And that defense that they have with Nick Bosa ain't no joke. So, yeah, Jordan Love is going to have to be playing at that highest clip ever right there to be able to go in there and handle that defense. And offensively, I mean, they got playmakers all over the place, like you said. He does have Christian McCaffrey and Debo Samuel, so it's not all Brock Purdy. No, it isn't. But if he gets the ball into those guys' hands, it's going to be a long day for Green Bay.
Joe says, go 49ers, beat the Packers. And Fred says, Packers get after Purdy early. He will make mistakes. Now, that's a great call. But one problem with that, though, Fred, Kyle Shanahan is one of the best coaches in the league when it comes to making in-game adjustments. And if you will see the Niners switch it up if what they're trying on offense doesn't work. But that defense for San Fran, the best defense that Green Bay's faced all year. This is going to be quite a test for Jordan Love. If he continues to tear he's on with all these young receivers, if Aaron Jones keeps on winning the ball, running the ball the way he has been, I like the Packers' chances at least to cover that 9.5.
Yeah, Sarah says that McCaffrey is going to run over that defense. And if I'm a Green Bay fan, that is my biggest fear right there. This isn't about Brock Purdy. It's the same mistake that the people make with the looking at the Lions offense. It ain't about Goff. It ain't about Brock Purdy right here. It's about the way that offense is designed, and they have excellent upfront offensive line guys that block in space. So I wouldn't be worried about Brock Purdy. I'd be worried about Christian McCaffrey running all over you and not having to deal with Brock Purdy at all. Like in every other San Francisco playoff game against the Green Bay Packers. They lost a game where Jimmy Garoppolo threw 6 passes. They lost that game. That's the way that San Francisco plays. Are you ready to win a game like that? Because that's probably the type of game that it's going to be. Can it be ugly? Either San Francisco's going to blow them out, or you're going to be in a close game that's really low scoring and ugly, and you're going to just have to find a way to get a field goal type of game if Green Bay is going to win. That's what I think.
Yeah, that's a good call. Obviously, the weak spot for Green Bay's defense is their run defense. Right. Not what you want to have going into San Francisco with Trent Williams and CMC. To Sarah's point, Christian McCaffrey could run wild over these Packers, and this game could be a blowout. I know you think it's going to be a blowout, don't you, Russ?
and it's nothing against the Green Bay Packers. I want to go to San Francisco as a Lion fan. I want to win this game, and I want to go to San Francisco because I don't want to listen to anybody say that, oh, you had an easy path. I don't want to hear that. I want this Lions team to be at the highest and beat the best of competition this year. And this San Francisco team is for real. They got a good quarterback. They got great playmakers, great offensive line, a stacked defense. They're good in all three phases. If you beat that team, you're good. And if it's the Green Bay Packers that move on from that, kudos to them. They're another one of these teams that are like the Houston Texans. You got a whole bunch of young players on that team that are ascending for the Green Bay Packers. They're the youngest team in the NFL. So if you're a Green Bay Packer fan, this is house money. You're just sitting there you're rubbing cheese all over your body right now. You're just in a good mood because win or lose, you're moving forward next year going, yeah, we got a quarterback. We have a young roster. We don't have a ton of holes to fill, and we got a shit ton of money.
I hear what you're saying, Russ. There is no elevator to success, right? You got to take the stairs. And if you want to take the stairs, you need to go out to San Francisco and beat the best. I get what you're saying. But I'm right here with Waterboy. NFC North showdown for the NFC Championship. That's what sounds really good to me. The 3 seed playing at home against the Packers in the rubber match.
Give me a home game. Hell yes. Yeah. That's the scarier of the two games because I don't want to listen to Packer fans. Could you imagine the Green Bay Packers going to the Super Bowl in the first year of Jordan Love?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fred doesn't agree with you. He says, I'm sorry, Russ, but that makes zero sense to me. If the Packers beat the Niners, they are the better team. So, right? So we can say all day long, if the Packers win, they beat a better team than them, but they won. So they're the better team. And they'd be then coming to Ford Field for the title game. It sounds like we're looking past the Tampa Bay Bucks, but we're not. We're simply looking at it. We're looking at it a lens as Lions fans and assuming that we do win the game against Tampa, what will happen next? So,
no, we're talking about who we think is going to win between San Francisco and the Packers. And we think, I think that the San Francisco is going to roll over them. And there's people out there that disagree but it's any given Sunday. If the Packers win, you're right. They're the better team. All bets are off here. You get into the tournament, then everybody's 0-0. It doesn't even matter what the records are. You got to play the team that's in front of you. Mm-hmm. And if that's the Green Bay Packers, you got to play the Green Bay Packers. If it's the 49ers, it's the 49ers. If it's the Bucs, it's the Bucs. And right now it's the Bucs. That's where we're at. This is who we playing.
Neil says it's not in the best interest of the Lions to play the Packers for a third time. Well, I would agree with you there, Neil, if we'd have beat them twice, but we didn't. We still have a sour taste. I personally want revenge for Thanksgiving. The Packers spoiled my Thanksgiving, okay? I really wanted that game. I want the Packers, not just because of the home field. I want the Packers back. Jeffrey says, sorry, Russ, I have to disagree with you on this one. Having the NFC Championship game in Detroit is priceless. Beating the Packers that took out Dallas and the Niners would be awesome. That is a great call out. If Green Bay beats those two teams, the 1 and the 2 seed, they beat the 1 and the 2 seed.
Right.
Yeah, come home and try to beat the 3 seed.
I want the home game. That I will be rooting for Green Bay in the game. I want the home playoff game, but there is something about going and taking the hardest road that would also make me feel good. I want that too. I don't want anybody thinking that it was the easy way. You took the easy way in, I just have to be in this year round. And I respect what Jeffrey says right there when he's wanting the home playoff game. You're right. Imagine that you haven't had a home playoff game in 30 years, and then you have 3 of them in the same year. That would be something amazing, Jeff. I would have to agree with you on that.
Sarah says, if you play the Packers at home, you better hope that moon don't show up. The old waxing gibbous moon.
You can't be afraid of the moment, whatever that moment is. And the moment right now, you can't look past this team right here, which is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They've won a bunch of games in a row, but if you're a Lion fan, you can have all the confidence in the world. I don't see any reason why not. Oh, you could lose this game. Yeah, any team could lose, but we're not. We're not going to lose this game. We're a better team. We're a better team in all three phases. Go ahead, Mike.
What? No, I'm just,
No,
you better hope that moon don't show up. We're not talking about Warren Moon. How silly is that? I'm sorry. Did I derail you? I didn't mean to derail you.
No, well, when you're doing a serious, when I can see you in the background and it's like I got to let you say whatever you're going to say, or else
I'm just laughing at the comments.
Yeah, but you can't keep a serious take going when I'm being all serious. When you're laughing at somebody like somebody just like farted in the room with you. I had no idea if somebody just like farted in the room with you, if it was slapstick, or if you were taking a shit and it made a little sound. I mean, I had no idea, but yes, we hope that moon don't show up. I hope it don't show up this weekend either. While we're not looking ahead to the NFC Championship, we're looking forward to this divisional round matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's talk about this matchup.
What is that? You still there?
Yeah. What's
Jick says, I'm just here for the Macho Man. I hope you didn't miss it, Jick, because he already did the Macho Man, and I'm hoping he doesn't do it again. Rob says, I just hope if Lions go to the Super Bowl, we don't face the Ravens. We don't match up well with the Ravens. That's true. It's that running quarterback thing, and they have a great defense. So they can make it real hard for us. But 38-6, I really wouldn't mind. I really wouldn't mind a little revenge in that one. I think that we had our worst game under Dan Campbell. Even in the first year. So I definitely would like to it wouldn't bother me to face the Ravens. He says, do the Macho Man. That's 2 calls now for the Macho Man. I guess I'm outvoted.
Yeah, the Macho. The key to being the Macho Man, Randy Savage, is you have to pull imaginary things from here to there, and you dig it. When you dig it, you're like, it's the imaginary line from the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Ooh, yeah.
It's okay to laugh now? Okay, I'm laughing now. Yeah, this is a funny one. Neil says, I've seen some reporter ask the bus coach who's worried about the weather in Detroit. And that was a junior reporter who wasn't even a sports reporter who was thrown in. She had no idea. That poor girl's getting torched today for asking Todd Bowles, how are you going to get your players ready for the Michigan weather? And he just looked at her and goes, they play indoors, right? Oops. Ooh,
boom, boom, boom. Oh, yeah. They've had a pretty good running game, the Tampa Bay, for the last few weeks, and this is why I am not worried about this team. It's like their whole thing is predicated off of doing that play action, and that they're not going to have a play action. They're not going to be able to run the football against Detroit's defense. Detroit hasn't let anybody run on them. So I mean, I don't think that it's all of a sudden going to be this week that they're going to all of a sudden give up a bunch of run yards. So I'm not, I think we should be able to control the entire game. When we beat them the first time, we didn't even have a lot of, there was a whole bunch. Brian Branch wasn't playing. I saw a picture of all the players that weren't even playing, and they still beat their ass. They were down there. Like, what were you saying? It was Craig. We had Craig. We were running with Craig Reynolds at the end of that game. Craig Reynolds. You got beat by Craig. Come on, Craig. Craig Reynolds came in there. Put the boots to you. What are you going to do with Jahmyr Gibbs,
Mhm.
David Montgomery, the full healthy offensive line, actually facing Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and James Houston?
Mhm.
It looks like James Houston is going to play.
Mhm. Mike Evans, great wide receiver, Pro Bowl wide receiver for the Buccaneers, was nursing a hamstring injury in week 6, but he still played through it. Now he's fully healthy. The Buccaneers actually have a pretty clean injury report. So Baker Mayfield playing with a bad ankle, some busted ribs, but he should be good to go. And this offense has been clicking, winning 6 of the last 7 games. When the Lions played them in week 6, really not the same team as what we're seeing now. The Lions better not rest on their laurels and look back at week 6 and think we got this in the bag, because this Buccaneers team's got a great defense. They have some outstanding wide receivers. And Baker Mayfield's a gamer, and he's got the respect of this team. He's won this locker room over now. He's back to his old cocky self. He's played his way into a future contract, whether it be with this team or somebody else. Somebody's going to sign Baker Mayfield to a 3-year deal now. So don't think for a minute that he doesn't want this game so badly, because if he wins 2 playoff games, it's in the bag for him. Probably in Tampa, they're going to re-sign him. So he has said many times that he loves being down there. He loves the coaching staff. He loves the players. And being a quarterback, it's a lot like being a singer in a band, right? You need confidence. You need the support of your band around you. And we look at what that did for Jared Goff last week. The swagger he walked into that locker room with. That's what confidence can do for a quarterback. And they have a lot of confidence in Baker now. It's going to be a dogfight. Lions favored by 3.5 points. I think this could be another 1-point win or loss, one way or the other.
I like that take. But I'm a homer. I think we're going to bully them. I think that our offensive line is playing at a high level, and I think our defense is starting to click. It's starting to click. I mean, people love to look at the big play that they gave up and everything, and they don't see the big picture of it. And that 0 for 3 in the red zone, right? I don't give a shit about the yards. Miss me with the yard stuff. They gave up 400 yards. Forget the yards. The between the 20s don't mean shit. Are you giving up touchdowns? That's it. That's how you win in the NFL. Don't give touchdowns up. And they ain't giving up touchdowns. They haven't been giving up touchdowns. They've been giving up a couple of long touchdowns and breakage and plays. But overall, 6 points in the second half against that high-powered Rams offense, that's a win. That's defense playing good. I don't give a shit. Miss me with the yards. Miss me with it. I don't care about yards. You can give up yards all day, all day. You want to give up 20 in between the 20s? You want to give up a 20-yard play? Oops. But when they back that speed up, Vildor's not fast enough to cover these guys out like that. Just don't give up the big play.
Jordan's take here pretty much sums it up. We, meaning the Lions, healthier than we were in the last matchup. We're getting more pass rush, which is key for our secondary issues, and our run defense is still strong. We got this. Yeah, that sounds perfectly great. Absolutely. I think that's a great succinct take that you've got there, Jordan. Any given Sunday, though, but I'm still suffering from PTSOL, so sorry.
Yeah,
I probably will. Always will. Until there's a Lombardi trophy in Detroit, I probably always will.
Yeah, but you're not doing it's not. I don't think it's PTSOL when you're pointing out the fact that the Tampa Bay has won 6 of their last 7 games. I mean, granted, 2 of those games were against the Carolina Panthers. And one of those games was a Carolina Panther game that they won 9-0. I'm not trying to take anything away from that. You beat the teams that are in front of you, and they are the team that are in front of us. And but for Jordan to point out that we weren't healthy when we faced them and destroyed them the first time that we played them, that's fair. Because they are going to have to deal with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery and Brian Branch and now C.J. Gardner-Johnson and now James Houston. Like, it is what it is. So what? We got healthy.
Talk about a segue. Ken Fisher says, any news on James Houston, Russ?
It would be the craziest thing. No news on him, but James Houston himself says that, he's looking forward to playing on Sunday.
James Houston said, I expect to play.
I expect to play on Sunday. So is there a chance, because it hasn't been officially reported, that all of a sudden the Lions say, yeah, I know he wanted to play on Sunday, but we're going to put you on injured reserve anyway? I think he's going to play on Sunday.
I do too. And what we saw against Minnesota, the return of Chauncey Gardner-Johnson energized this defense. We might see the same thing with James Houston, especially if he's bringing pressure off the edge opposite Hutch. That's what we've needed all year long.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this call out by Neil. I can't find it on here, but right here it is. He says, rest your vocal cords if you're going to the game. Be that 12th man. Boy, was the crowd instrumental in that win last week. They denied Matt Stafford a chance to have the ball at the end to win the game. Took a lot of pressure off of the offense. They could really just take him out to the deep water, run plays, and then, of course, ice cold Goff hits Amon-Ra for that big 2nd and 9 first down conversion.
Yep.
So, but 2 delay of game penalties avoided because the Rams had to take a timeout because of the crowd noise. And believe me, Matt Stafford's a much cooler customer than Baker Mayfield. We can get into Baker Mayfield's helmet. We can rattle him. He'll make a mistake. I guarantee it. Like the guy from Men's Warehouse. I guarantee it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You're facing an entire team. That's where it gets me. I mean, if Chauncey's running his mouth a little bit and they're jawing back and forth, this is a full team effort. Like, if you've ever watched Penei Sewell get the team fired up, if you've watched some of those videos, it's like they're the real leaders. Okay. Like, they put Jared Goff, he's on the poster, right? He's Ken, he's the California kid. He's the guy you put on the poster, but he ain't the leader. The leader is Frank Ragnow. The leader is Penei Sewell. The leader is Taylor Decker. And they may, put Jared Goff on the poster, but those guys, those 3 guys that I just mentioned, are the reason that the Lions will win on Sunday. It is those 3 leader men that are going to they're going to be like, look, Jared Goff can sit in your back and he can do whatever he wants. Okay. There ain't nothing you're going to do about it. This is Penei, this is Frankie, and this is Taylor over there. Jared Goff can do whatever he wants. I want to hear you say it. And he'll sit back there and he's going to pick this defense apart. I don't think, and if they lose that battle up front, then they'll lose the game. That's what it comes down to. I love Jared Goff. I do. I mean, and maybe he can be a plus player in those desperate situations, but I believe in Frankie, and I believe in Penei Sewell, and I believe in Taylor Decker, because they're going to protect their investments and make sure that the golden boy sitting in the back is going to get clean.
Decker. Taylor Decker.
You better tell him that he reported. Or in the oven, you go head first.
How about this comment? Penei Sewell gets me so fired up watching those videos, I have to refrain from tackling the wife when she walks by.
What?
I'm pumped.
You're gonna buy the kneecap off?
That's a.
What do you mean? What's for dinner? Go.
They get me fired up, man. That's the best tackle in the game. That's your first team All-Pro right tackle, Penei Sewell, and he's here to stay, guys. Like, that's your boy. That's your bodyguard.
Our regular Ken Fisher wants to know the results of Lion of the Week, Russ, from yesterday.
Oh. He wants to know the results of the most prestigious award.
There it is.
And all of sports and entertainment right here. The Villain Squad Lion of the Week winner goes to Michael Badgley.
The champ is here. The champ is here.
Michael Badgley.
The champ is here.
Michael Badgley.
The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here.
That's right. Michael Badgley, 54-yarder, the game winner, Lion of the Week. Congratulations, my friend, for winning the most prestigious award in all of sports and entertainment, the Villain Squad Lion of the Week.
Look, I just reported he was voted the sexiest man in the NFL. I didn't vote for him. Okay.
But did you say that you reported? Yeah. Wait. I got to be quick.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Did you say 70? I swear he said 70. You freaking moron. All right, man. And here, hey, you are watching Football Talk with Russell Wayne.
It reminds me of a football show, Football Talk with Russell Wayne, 11 a.m. in the mornings. You should watch it because it could be good for you. It could be good for you. It could be good for your life. You like it.
Breaking news from Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions wearing the Blueberries this weekend. A 937 winning percentage when they wear the Blueberries.
All right.
Hail to the king, baby.
Yeah, you down with the Blueberries?
I'm down with the Blueberries. And
Hail to the king, baby.
we're like a choo-choo train. You'll see. You'll see that we're gonna be choo-choo train and the stand on the choo-choo train tracks.
Jeremy said we're 6-0 this season when wearing the Blueberries. Good. We got the creamsicle Pirates coming in. That's another thing. They did wear the creamsicle uniforms in week 6, so and I know the players hate them.
And they're doubling down.
Now they're coming in their regular road whites, I believe.
Okay.
Time for the Bucks.
All right. So yeah, we got 4 games. This is amazing. Like, but doing these types of shows for the last couple of years and then like not being able to talk about your team, and this is really cool that we're in one of the last 4 games that are left. So, Lions, oh my gosh, first playoff win in forever, get another home playoff game. If they can get it done, wow. The NFC Championship, a shot at the NFC Championship is on the line. That's an amazing feeling right there. And the same thing right here. The first year for Jordan Love.
It's my quarterback.
No, not my quarterback, but he is the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, playing out of his mind. That a shot to go and play for that NFC title game is on the line right there. AFC side, I mean, it's Lamar Jackson's got a lot to prove. He got to prove that he can get it done in the playoffs right there. And then you got, the new guy, the new kid on the block. He's killing it. Who's killing it in CJ Stroud.
I'd like to issue a formal warning also to Mrs. Baker Mayfield. Don't bring your kids and parade them around on the field, or you might hear some boos.
Yeah.
Because unless you're a freaking idiot.
And then and this one's probably the marquee matchup of the whole deal.
For sure.
And but yeah, just like Mike said right there, that you may in this game that's going to happen at Ford Field, that be prepared that they're going to boo the opposing team. And when Baker comes out, they're probably going to boo him. I want you to know that, and not even about the kids, but I mean, don't bring your kids down there in front of that. And I mean, and take one of the boxes, go up and sit in one of the boxes and get all nice and cozy and comfy, but don't expect our home crowd to do anything on that game except for hate your franchise and everything about your franchise. You know what I would like to say? about the Detroit Lions and Matt Stafford now that the game's over, I have nothing against Matt Stafford. I love Matt Stafford for what he did here. He's a great person in the community. He did all that stuff. But I have the right as a Lion fan to, on that 24 hours, to hate everything about that man, everything about that city, everything about the LA Rams, because I'm a fan of the Detroit Lions and they're standing in the way of something that I want to experience, that I've been waiting 30 years for. So screw you for any other. I can boo the entire time I am supporting my team, especially if I spent $1,000 to be there to experience that, which I think that's what the average price was. So don't tell me what to do when I spend my hard-earned money and I go into a spot and I'm going to have my experience. Don't make it about you. We're going to boo that team. And then when it comes to the next day, I have all the respect in the world for Matt Stafford. You're no longer the enemy. The game's over. You lost. Go home, man. They shake each other's hands after they're done kicking each other's ass.
Well, I'm happy for the players.
Okay. Well, you show who you are by what you do in those character moments. It's not the first questionable moment.
What about this comment, Russ? Can you help with this one?
You don't see a follow or subscribe button. The page is the Detroit Lions Villain Squad. This is where
this is Lions, actually, Lions Villain Squad on Facebook.
Lions Villain Squad. That's where you can follow the page. And then on YouTube, you can subscribe, and that is at Main Event 365. And you know what I'll do right now?
You put it in the comments.
Yeah, let me go find the one.
And I'll read this comment from John Bray while you do. I'd rather play the Green Bay Packers next because they looked really good since the Lions played them last, and it would be nice to shut them down and go into next week with that. So that's a great call out. It would be great to get the Packers back at home for the NFC title game. So Robert, yeah, our resident Packer fan says, tell me how eager you are for the Packers to beat the Niners. Not that much. I can't root that hard for the Packers, Robert, but believe me, I am pulling for the Pack to beat the Niners for no other reason but for us to get a home playoff game to go to the Super Bowl. I firmly believe we will beat the Packers at home.
It's so weird. I'm just telling you and Jeffrey have convinced me of this, and it's so I can't like it makes me feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone saying I got to root for the Packers, but I get it from the point of let's bring them here. Let's bring him here. Give the city of Detroit another home playoff game. And it's just like, I get that part of it, but it's just so hard for me to want to root for the Packers. Like I can't root for the Packers. I can't root for the Packers, but if it happens, I'm going to be happy for the city of Detroit to get another home playoff game if they can get by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this week. But I just can't root for the Pack. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I want another home playoff game that I can't afford to go to. I'm sorry.
Ken says the Ric Flair phrase, to be the best, you have to beat the best. Go Lions. Maybe Russell can do it in a Ric Flair voice.
Jet flying in limousine Ryan. Yeah, Ric Flair. Woo! To be the man, you have to beat the man. And I'm the man, baby.
Yes. Robert says, it's priceless watching you stew over rooting for the Pack. Don't do not flatter yourself like that, Robert. Come on. You're giving yourself way too much credit. Like, we've already admitted you got your third quarterback. All right. You got him. He's there. We acknowledge he's awesome. He's going to be a problem for the next 10 years. This is our year, though, and you know it. You know it.
He don't know it yet. And that's the thing. Is like they have every right to beat their chest right now too. They're waving their ding dings just like us, right? And we want to be like, we can wave our ding dings better. No, it's like it's pretty. You got another week to prove it, guys. You got your matchup. We got our matchup, and let's see if we can go head up.
Packer fans will have 2010 vibes if they beat San Francisco, A-Dub says. Of course, they referring to the Super Bowl win. They went in as the wild card and won the Super Bowl. So yeah, that Green Bay mystique keeps on going. We give credit where credit's due.
Yeah, I mean they end up being now since they've added the 7 seed, that is the first 7 seed victory since them bringing the 7 seed in. So maybe there is some magic there because, I mean, plenty of 6 seeds have won the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for a while there, it was just kind of like if you could get in and get hot at the end, that was just kind of like the recipe. It was always the 1 seeds that were getting knocked out. This bye thing it's a really weird thing because the data doesn't show that getting an extra week of rest or something like that helps any of these playoff teams. It's usually these teams that are just like on a roll. They're on a regimen. They're on a routine, and they come in rearing. And these teams that have the rest, it wouldn't surprise me one bit to see Green Bay go in and win that game. Mm-hmm. Some of those throws that Jordan Love makes that are like off platform where it looks like he's looking this way and he throws it over here. That's that Patrick Mahomes type of shit. That's making the Houdini shit.
Joseph says, I'm with Wayne. No way I'm rooting for the Packers. Whatever happens, happens. I get what you're saying there. No self-respecting Lions fan would root for the Packers. But you know what? The Lions traveling to the West Coast rarely goes well, no matter who they're playing. Even if they're favored, they don't do well with that travel out to the West Coast. And the Niners just happen to be a juggernaut. And you bet your ass that the Lions players are rooting for the Packers to win on Saturday. And then when they go into Ford Field on Sunday, they know all we got to do is beat the Bucs and we're NFC title game at home. And they don't really care who the opponent is at that point. They're rooting for their best interest. And I'm right there with the players rooting for our best interest. I don't care if it's the Packers, Cowboys, who it is.
Right. And to show you when they were playing the Cowboys, I didn't root for the Packers in that game. But when the game was over, it's okay to go back and say, because we don't like the Dallas Cowboys either, but I don't have anything against the San Francisco 49ers as a Lion fan. I have no reason to root against that team. And especially for the Packers, I'm a rival fan. Would you root for the Buckeyes under any circumstance, Mike?
None.
I mean, come on. I mean, that's not. I feel everybody that wants the home playoff game. And the thing is I'm not going to die on this hill of I'm not going to root for the Packers, right? That's just me. That's the rivalry guy in me, right? And I'll die. I'm not going to die on that hill and say you should do that. Like, root for the home playoff game. You want to root for the Packers, you root for the Packers. But I'm too much of a bullheaded Lion fan. You know what I'm saying? And Robert can identify with that. I don't think that Robert's going to root for the Lions, or your most hated team. Are you really going to root for the Bears or the Vikings, to do good? Are you really? In the back of your mind, you're going, yeah, I hope the Bucs.
We got some comments here on what you said about there's no data to support that a team that takes the bye week, has any kind of advantage. We'll start right here with Sarah, who says, keep the wee-wee in the pants. No, that's not the right one. Rob Newsom. I think the Niners taking all this time off is a mistake. Some of those players haven't played in a month. A lot to say about rust, right? A-Dub says plenty of teams who come off a bye week will be somewhat rusty for the next game. And I think there's a lot to be said for that about staying in rhythm, right? And rest is great. But if we see the beginning of the season in the NFL every year, so many games go under, a lot of upsets because the offenses just haven't got their footing yet with new play caller or whatever it may be. So a lot of these teams are clicking on all cylinders now. So that the time off might serve them well. So,
Yep.
I
But
mean,
there is data that goes the other way too. I mean, sometimes the teams that are getting the bye week, they have the 1 seed for a reason, right? Like be reminded here that San Francisco, even though they did lose as many games as they lost 3 games in a row earlier in the season, and then it really seemed like they were unbeatable after that. So when it comes to the San Francisco 49ers getting a week off, maybe they are just that damn good. Sometimes that team gets that bye week and then they just bulldoze the team that they play because they are that damn good. And they got that seed for a reason. It's not always that the rested team gets it. So, like I said, I'm not going to die on either one of those hills when it comes to resting or not resting your players. I mean,
it is Feel Good Thursday here. It is Football Talk with Russell Wayne every weekday morning at 11 a.m. Be sure to join us tomorrow. Will be Predictions Friday. We'll have GT here from And We Know Sports. We will review our picks from last week and make our predictions for the divisional round as well. That's tomorrow on Football Talk with Russell Wayne. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook at the Lions Village Squad and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Main Event 365. I'm Main Event Mike, and I got to jump off. God bless you all. Peace out.
I love it. I love it. That's Main Event Mike. Yes. Every single day, we're doing this thing at 11 a.m. Football Talk with Russell Wayne and my compadre, Main Event Mike, in the house. And we have added the brand new show to the roster, which is Biting Kneecaps, the Motor City Biting Kneecap Show with Jeremy B. every morning at 10 a.m. coming in and doing this thing. I've been having fun. This year. It's been with the villain squad here, everybody that we just crossed over 25,000 villains. We're all part of this together. We're all just fans on this page, on this show. And we love it when you join the conversation and we're talking football. And thank you, Wayne. I'm glad that you found us too. And we just enjoy having a good football conversation every day. And when it comes into the off season, it's going to be fun too. I know that we got some Bear fans that are out there. I know you guys are chomping at the bit to do that draft thing and get into the free agency. Let's get into that. Oh, I like having the music in the background. But Mike the Bear fan, appreciate you. Mike does the Hallis Hall report. If you're a Bear fan, he keeps that up, and that's the thing. It's like we can identify with that as Lions fans, man. We've done a lot of these programs where the Lions, 3-13, they're laughing at us. They're pointing at it can turn around. And I appreciate the Bear fans that stuck with it, man, all year long. Bear down, Mike. They're 0-for at the beginning of the season. And he was coming in here every day talking football. So I like Bear Down Mike. I don't like your choice of team. But, we're friends first. We love our team, but it would never, from my point of view, I'm not going to hate on anybody for, sports related stuff. Faith, family, and football on here. Faith, family, and football in that order. Appreciate the people that are watching on the YouTube channel right now. Just remember the subscribe. That's free. It doesn't cost you anything. I mean, you can turn off notifications if you don't want to hear from me. But I'm just going to tell you when we're going to be doing these. We appreciate anybody that's on the Villain Squad page when we put up content. We find content from other places, put them up on the page. We appreciate the people that join our conversation. the conversation about the Detroit Lions. Brad Holmes. I think he's the greatest GM that I've ever seen. And he's just getting started. The transformation of this Detroit Lions roster over the last 3 years has been borderline amazing. The things that he has done. I mean, there's only a couple of players here that even remember all of that losing, even from the Patricia era. You know, Taylor Decker was here. Ragnow was here. Reeves Maben was here. He left and then came back, but you think of that first draft when they brought in Penei Sewell. I mean, none of those guys, they don't know anything about what the Lions went through before 2021. They don't remember any of that. Brad Holmes built this thing, ripped it apart from the studs. And the real leaders on this team, Penei Sewell, Taylor Decker, and Frank Ragnow, that's the real story. And you want to talk about Baker Mayfield and Jared Goff, that's fine. But it's coming down to the trenches, okay? It's coming down to, can the best center in the league, Frank Ragnow, move that mountain of a man, Vita Vea? That's the story. And if they can, they'll be able to run the football. And if they can run the football, then the play action will open up. And Jared Goff can be Jared Goff. Jared Goff is a top 5 QB if you keep him clean. And that's what we got. We got Frank the Tank, Taylor Decker, and Penei Sewell. They're going to keep the Golden Boy clean. And if they keep the Golden Boy clean, then they can throw the ball to my guy, Amon-Ra St. Brown. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Glenn has improved the defense. Has he improved the defense enough? That's the question. And this right here, this game, playoffs. The Cinderella story of Jordan Love. Does it come to an end? Can they go out to San Francisco? That's an upset right there. You know, the line shows it. That's a young team. But any given Sunday, no, that Dallas Cowboy team, you guys went out there and were physical in that game. Lions should have won that game too. And you guys were able to take care of business. This is a different team right here. I don't like, it would be an uphill battle. It would be the same thing if the Lions were playing the San Francisco 49ers. That's an uphill battle. That team is beastly. Brock Purdy's another guy. If you keep him clean, that he can rip you apart. He will rip you apart. It's Christian McCaffrey that I think that the Green Bay Packers have to worry about. Isn't the two guys on the screen? Another one of those things. That's not the real story. It's Trent Williams and company versus that defensive line of the Green Bay Packers. If they're able to run the football. If you let Christian McCaffrey control that game, you guys are done. you have to be able to contain Christian McCaffrey from the running back perspective, or it's going to be a long day. I mean, and Jordan Love could even have a good game, but I don't know if you're prepared to get into a shootout with a team that has a defense like that, you know? So Green Bay's got to turn this into an ugly game. You got to play that ugly. You're going to have to get an ugly win against a team like this. You know, 21-19 type of shit. If you're a Green Bay Packer fan. That's just my opinion. I don't know. You don't want any piece of San Francisco? You know, the time for gloating, I mean, there's no gloating yet because, you know, especially when you're in a one and done type of situation. In a one and done type of situation, I mean, you can do all the gloating you want from week to week, but you could get eliminated too. And then all of a sudden, everybody that you were gloating to is going to be gloating at you. Now, this is the best of the best here. This is it. These are the final 8 teams that are left. The ticket. You're going to punch a ticket. The divisional round, you punch a ticket to get your shot to play for a Super Bowl. Your chance. I got 2 tickets to paradise. I want to thank everybody for watching the show today. Here's a little shout out. I don't know if you've seen the shout out, but Iffy Melifanu, thank you for the shout out.
What's up, y'all? This is Ifeatu Melifanu, safety for the Detroit Lions. And I just want to take some time out to give a big shout out to Russell Wayne and Main Event Mike from the Detroit Lions Villain Squad. It's a fan page and a podcast. And I just want to say I appreciate the support of me and my team. And I encourage everyone to go check out their podcast and check out their fan page. Go Lions.
Yeah, thank you, Iffy. That's very cool. It made us feel very special. Because we're fans of this team. We've been fans for such a long time. Thank you. Shout out to Gary from the Lions Den. Shout out to Bob Wisely for providing my background. Like all those old vintage Lions posters. We've been through a lot together. Mike and I are going to be at Mount Holly Ski Lodge this weekend, watching the football game. Broadcasting live, playing some music, singing some songs. Come and join us, Mount Holly Ski Lodge. Yeah, the hill looks beautiful. You can put your kids on the hill, having them have some fun. You can be in the lift lounge with Mike and I watching the game. Think about it. That'll be fun. So, Matt LaFleur, what is your strategy against the Green Bay Packers? Okay. I see what you did there. I think Jared Goff is going to play inspired football from here on out. Could you imagine what that felt like? That entire stadium was chanting his name. The love that he feels from the city of Detroit. I mean, as much as we love Matt Stafford, he left because he didn't want to be here anymore. He wanted to go win his title, and he did his thing, man. Can't take anything away from that. But Jared Goff, for this city, delivered something that nobody else has. And the city appreciates that when you really think about it. Not going to take anything away from what Stafford did somewhere else. He won a Super Bowl. Guy's probably going in the Hall of Fame. Had a Hall of Fame quarterback. But if Jared Goff can take this team to a Super Bowl, you know, he can also get himself into the Hall of Fame. So the talk can stop. You know, Jared Goff is a great quarterback with the capabilities of providing playoff wins. Throw whatever asterisk that you want on top of that. I don't care. You want to micromanage wins? I don't care. But the teams that are here right now deserve to be here. They're here because they earned it. Regardless of where they were at, where everybody predicted they were. You know, a lot of people eating crow over Jordan Love and things they said, including me. I already ate my crow. I ate my crow 7 weeks ago when it came to Jordan Love. You know, you get to this place, you just acknowledge, hey, the guy's a good quarterback. You got to deal with him. But the thing is you got to the same place with Jared Goff too, Green Bay Packer fan. And stopping a running game. You know, the Lions' running game is legit. Our offensive line is legit. And regardless of how good Jordan Love is, you're going to have to deal with that running offense. And you're going to get us, and we're going to get you. But the black and blue division is back, Robert. I don't think anybody's going to be dominating this rivalry anytime soon. I thought that the Lions might have had a chance to dominate the rivalry, but I tell you what, I think it's going to be a slugfest, and we'll see what the Chicago Bears can do. I know that they're going to be happy here in a minute. You know, about 4 weeks, Super Bowl will be over. And then it's going to be Chicago Bear time. The spotlight is going to be on the Chicago Bears picking number 1 and number 9. And we're going to be so much better next year. It's going to be great for Chicago Bear. I'm going to live vicariously through that because I know that Bear Down Mike is going to be excited. He's going to be in here every day telling me about the great college guys that he's going to get. And I'll tell you what, Marvin Harrison Jr., you add that, I don't know. I think you're going to, if you think Justin Fields is going to be on the team, I don't know. Splitting that fan base. But for right now, it's playoff football.
Playoffs?
And right now, it looks like the Green Bay Packers are good. And if they're in the playoffs with that young team, means they're going to be good for a while. Same thing with the Lions. This is just the beginning. Everybody else got to catch up. You do have pick number 1 and number 9, Chicago Bear fan. Yes, that is the capital to catch up. But you still have to catch up. Chicago might have been one of those teams, kind of like last year's Lions. I mean, Lions were hot at the end of the season. If they would have gotten to the playoffs, I think they could have won a playoff game last year. Chicago might be that good. You never know. You're watching Football Talk with Russell Wayne. Join me weekdays, 11 a.m. with my compadre, Main Event Mike. Well, yeah, we in the mornings. Tomorrow is Pick'em Friday. We're going to do our picks. We're going to pick these games. We're going to pick them against the spreads that are coming out for tomorrow. Talk about the final injury reports, all that good stuff. Some final things on there. Faith, family, and football on this show. It's in that order. We thank anybody that uses our giving link for our outreach. The outreach at NTC Church does amazing things. If you use that link, then you helped us get over 400 turkeys provided and delivered to needy families for Thanksgiving. If you use that link, then you were able to help us provide full Christmases to 100 families in the Genesee County area. Outreach is important. We got to help the community of people around us, and Pastor Kevin Galloway does a great job at doing that and making sure that the outreach is there and that the people are there to distribute food, distribute toys. And you can join us in the mornings on Sundays for church service. I get to play guitar in that praise and worship group, worshiping the Lord with good music, and then a great message from Pastor Kevin Galloway. So if you're in the Genesee County area, come by and see us in that. Faith, family, and football. Family and football, that's the easy part. We got 4 playoff games this week. It's a great opportunity to spend time with your family, experience something together, show some love. Family, then football. Use football. Use football to spend time with your family. Don't let football use you. Don't turn into a butthole if they lose, okay? There's bigger things in the world than football. But thank you for joining us today. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. And may the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again tomorrow morning. Football Talk. Russell Wayne. God bless.
It reminds me of a football show, Football Talk with Russell Wayne, 11 a.m. in the mornings. You should watch it because it could be good for you. It could be good for you. It could be good for your life.
Play my game like